The Swartz Center for the Performing Arts at Cornell University is pleased to present The History Boys by Alan Bennett, directed by Melanie Dreyer.
Essentially the story of the equivalent of 8 British high school students trying to get into the top universities in Britain, so Oxford and Cambridge. And it's a story I think everyone, at least my age, can relate to with SATs and the stress of trying to get into colleges here in the US. It is set in the 80s, so that brings a different, interesting component to it, and obviously it takes place in Britain. But there's a lot of parallels that are really interesting, I think.
Where do you live, sir?
Somewhere on the outskirts. Why?
Somewhere on the outskirts, too. Hope it's not a loft, is it, sir?
Do you exist on an unhealthy diet of takeaway food, sir? Or do you whisk up gourmet meals for a while?
Or is it a lonely pizza, sir?
I manage. No questions from you, Dakin.
What they want to know, sir, is, do you have a life? Or are we it? Are we your life, sir?
Pretty dismal if you are, because these are as dreary as ever.
Oh, look.
This play is sort of following, in a way, following the lead of some other plays that are done nowadays. All of us schoolboys are on stage the whole time. So we perform all the transitions. It's like our classroom, our stage. And there's a chalkboard that we write on and erase from, and so it's and we all have our own notebooks that we write in that are used in the show. They're all our notebooks. I'm actually using my own backpack in the show as of now. So it's very personal. It's about us, with the boys and our journeys to these colleges. So.
Because I was late growing up, I'm not included in this type of conversation. I'm not supposed to understand. Actually, they would be surprised at how much I know about them and their bodies and everything else.
And just this whole vying for Oxford and Cambridge and the love for their teacher, Hector, and eventual their love for Erwin, just brings them all together despite their differences.
Now, poetry of a more traditional sort. Tinned groans. What is this?
Sir, I don't always understand poetry.
Oh, you don't always understand it. Timms, I never understand it. Learn it now, know it now, and we'll understand it whenever.
I don't see how we can understand it. Most of the stuff poetry is about hasn't happened to us yet.
But it will, Timms, it will. Then you'll have the antidote. Grief, happiness. Well, even when you're dying, we're making your deathbeds here, boys. Oh, poetry is the trailer, forthcoming attraction.
Appreciation, an even greater appreciation for just education in general, because that's really what the play is about. You know, you always see things from your perspective as a student here at Cornell, but in this play you get to see it from the perspective of the teachers, the headmaster, the students. You really get to take a step back and to look at the whole big picture. So I have a lot.
Jerry, please help me.
Can we just have a cigarette on it?
Yes.
May I sometimes come here, Sean?
Whenever you like. It's your home, too. There are people here who love you.
And will you be happy, Sean?
Oh, Jerry, don't let's ask for the moon. We have the stars. Cornell's better than Oxford because there is way better a cappella here.
you know. So I feel like the bond between the students here on campus is probably stronger than at Oxford, and sometimes it seems as though at Oxford it's kind of like a individual, cutthroat kind of world, but here at Cornell it's more knit, and we're all here for each other. So.
Well, Cornell is obviously better than Oxford because it just doesn't get any colder than here, and if you can survive here, you can make it anywhere. So.
Bum, 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 bum.